What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And now, continuing with this week's motif, we're going to be doing another crazy superset. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and do a shoulder and arm superset, and then tomorrow we're going to switch back to chest and back. So the main goal for this week is to build back the power we've lost over the last month. So this morning I also weighed myself. I'm still stuck at 151, y'all. I haven't been able to get to 149 or even 150 yet, but we're going to keep pushing for that, y'all. I'll see y'all when we get on the inside. Peace. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and also just a few updates. Tomorrow I'm going to be going to Atlanta Metropolitan State College to actually get my classes picked out. I figured out that I'm only going to be doing 1 year there before I transfer to Clayton State University in order to finish out my degree to become a registered nurse. So that's the update on that one. Secondly, in today's video, we're going to be doing a superset, bro. We're going to be working on our arms and our shoulders. And honestly speaking, I'm pretty excited because for me, I fucking love supersets. It makes it to where I feel like I'm pushing as hard as I possibly can in that day. And then also, since I'm here, if I have the energy for it and I feel good, I'll record a separate video showing an ab workout that I'm going to start doing. So let's go ahead and get into this, y'all. Y'all already know the setup. The first set we do, I start off on 25s. I suggest you start off on 20s or 15s if you're a beginner, and then progressively go up in weight. We're going to be doing around 3 supersets. And the important thing when hitting and coming to the gym is actually don't compare yourself to anybody else. Compare yourself to where you were yesterday, and then push yourself to become 1% better. Oh yeah, and earlier when I was saying life updates, the first one was going to Atlanta Metropolitan State College to pick out my classes. But the second one, y'all, I finally got the microphone for this type of camera, so we're going to see how it goes. This is going to be the first video that actually has genuine audio, and I love that because in the past videos, I was actually getting some copyright issues because of the music they play at the Planet Fitnesses. And this one actually blacks out most background noise, so it's going to make it a little easier for me to go ahead and not get any copyright strikes because the channel just started. I don't need that shit getting canceled already, you know what I mean? But alright, so let's go ahead and move to the next set. We're going to be doing curls, and then after your set of curls, switching to skull crushers. Let's get this going, yeah? Let's see. Honestly, the secret on this one is to do the weight slower on the way down than on the way up. The eccentric movement needs to be solid. And honestly, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna be making that change. I like the way that felt, so in today's video, we're going to go ahead and focus on our eccentric movement. The eccentric movement is whenever you're on the way up. The eccentric is the way down. So I really like the burn on the way down, so we're going to go ahead and push it in that direction. Now, with this superset, we start off with a set of curls. We switch to skull crushers. After that, once we get into the next set, we do drop sets. So you'll have 2 sets of dumbbells. One that's your top set and one that's a drop set. For me, my top set and drop set are only 5 pounds apart. But if you want to exaggerate in case you get more tired, you can actually make it a lot lighter. So that way when you can curl out, you're getting the maximum burn. And then after that, we're switching into forearm curls, which is what I'm going to be doing right now. Let's go ahead and get into this next shot, y'all. And man, one thing that's actually a pretty good blessing when it comes to having this microphone is now I don't have to be more limited with the shots. Now I can get a little bit more creative because I don't have to be super close. I like that, bro. You know, my biggest thing is always having limitations placed on me. And in your life, you need to make sure that the limitations placed on you are actual ones that you're experiencing, not limitations other people place on you. So just go through life checking to make sure you notice where your limitations are coming from. Are they being placed on you by your actual own inadequacies, or are they being placed on by other people? And make sure to check that, because you don't want to live life and go through life basically living somebody else's life, not getting a chance to live your own. So let's keep this going, y'all. This is set 2. Let's move into the next one. Well, set 1 of the superset. And remember, in today's video, we're going to be focusing more on the eccentric movement. And then the other day when I was working out, I realized that it burns more if I let it sit like that. So I end up doing, for my forearm curls, that counts as 1. So I go up, 2. This is what the process of greatness looks like. Slow, steady, tedious, and extremely unsatisfactory. Ooh, sir. And now we're going to use this workout between three to like around 3 times, because with this superset, this whole circuit, we do around 3 to 4 times, depending on what your energy levels might be at during that current day. Right now, my energy levels are pretty solid. I don't feel out of touch. I don't feel weak. I'm actually a little bit disciplined because some other shit that happened in my life. The shit that's making me realize that I need to become more. I need to be better. I can't keep having limitations like this placed on me. And honestly speaking, one thing I'm happy about is I know the limitations placed on me are placed by myself. So that allows me to take 100% accountability and fix it instead of blaming it on somebody else. Because if you blame your own inadequacies on somebody else, that means you take away the power from yourself, because you can't be the one to fix it. You have to leave it to somebody else. Alright, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the next set. We're going to start off the weights we were doing for curls earlier were 25s. We're going to start moving up to 30s. Let's keep this going, y'all. Let's have an amazing arm and shoulder day. Alright, y'all. Moving straight into this next set. Grabbing the 30s, and then we're going to get the shit going, y'all. And honestly, another thing I never really went over is hand positioning. One thing that makes it harder for you when you're working out is to actually have your hand positioning a little bit closer to the base, because when you're curling, it actually makes it to where you're able to hyperextend a little bit. So when I curl, I let it drop like that a little bit. And just like that, brother, the sets are solid at all. Now, honestly speaking, though, in order to keep them that tight and that intense, that focus, it is difficult. It is taking a lot of energy. It is taking a lot of focus. But doing this is going to be the difference between you staying the same way and you advancing closer to your dreams. So make sure the path that you're choosing, even if it might be a path of very, very high level of difficulty, make sure it's the path you truly want. Because either way, you're going to be struggling. So, enough yapping, y'all. Let me get like 2 seconds off camera. As soon as I finish out, I'll go ahead and bring y'all back in so we can finish out this set. Alright, so let's keep it going. Alright, so let's go ahead and move into this next set. Moving straight into the skull crushers. Let's keep this shit, bro, going, yo. I like doing this so the nape of my head is right off of the bench. Ooh, so and right after doing that, you jump straight into your next drop set. And also, by using the art of distraction, I can buy myself a few minutes. Now, did you know, statistically speaking, looking at alright, enough of me trying to distract y'all. Let me just jump straight into it, bro. Bro, when it's your turn and you're doing this, do a better job on counting. I swear to God, I keep messing up my count. I was like, was that 1? Was that 2? Was that 3? What was I doing? But enough of that, y'all. Let's keep this show rolling. Right now, we're actually going to be putting the weights back and getting a 35. Now, honestly speaking, the creatine is improving my endurance levels. I'm starting to feel like I can go longer and harder, especially because, and a little update for y'all that didn't watch yesterday's video, I actually made a mistake where I was taking my creatine, but I didn't read the instructions on the thing, and I assumed the shots, that I take the pills because I don't like the creatine powder, right? And the creatine powder is normally a 5 gram scoop, and that's what's recommended for your daily allowance, 5 grams of creatine per day. And the 3 pills that I was taking, it said the serving size are 3 pills. And then it said take twice daily. And I was only taking it once daily because it was only like 2.5 grams of creatine in those 3 pills. So I had to take 6 total, and I was only taking 3. But now that I'm up at 6, I'm feeling it. It's actually making a difference. I was feeling the difference before, but now it's being more pronounced. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and take this pump cover off, y'all. Now, and honestly, I almost low-key made a mistake, y'all. I was gonna just go straight into the next set, but I gotta do my forearm curls as well. I can't be slacking on those. Let me go ahead and switch out the 40 for a 50, and I'll be back with y'all. I actually like this shot. What y'all think about that, chat? I don't know. But let me change out my pumps on before. Yeah. On my versus normal. Yeah, this is solid though. Alright. But now, with this workout, alright, let me stop distracting y'all, bro. Y'all gotta call me out on my shit, bro, because I'm a master yapper. And me being a master yapper has saved me many a times. Alright. Katsuro. That's heavy, yo. Now, one thing I hate about having your forearms be the object that's the muscle group that's sore, your grip strength goes to nothing, and I hate that. All right, y'all. Let's move into this next set. I'll bring y'all back once I get into the next weight. I actually like this shot. What y'all think about that, chat? I don't know. But let me change out my pumps on before. Yeah. On my versus normal. Yeah, this is solid though. Alright. But now, with this workout, alright, let me stop distracting y'all, bro. Y'all gotta call me out on my shit, bro, because I'm a master yapper. And me being a master yapper has saved me many a times. Alright. Oosh. Katsuro. That's heavy, yo. Now, one thing I hate about having your forearms be the object that's the muscle group that's sore, your grip strength goes to nothing, and I hate that. All right, y'all. Let's move into this next set. I'll bring y'all back once I get into the next weight. All right, y'all. Now, you see that solid pump, bro? I'm feeling good. But, anyways, hold on. Let me change this on real quick, y'all. This will do. This will do. When in doubt, Lady Gaga it out. All right, y'all. Now we're moving into the part of the workout when we start feeling exhaustion. Now, this entire workout is curated in a way for you to use every single muscle you're going to be working on your arm day. And now today's a arm and shoulder superset. So after this beginning, we're going to move into some front delt raises. But before we get into that, you want to approach this workout with intensity, with pushing to your max in that moment. Even if you cannot do 10, like this is formulated with the motive of Guy Sensei in mind. If you cannot do 10 on curls, do 10 on skull crushers. If you cannot do 10 on skull crushers, do 10 on your single-handed curls. If you can't do 10 there, do 10 on your forearm curls. Regardless, you need to be pushing for ultimate failure. You need to push yourself until you cannot keep going. And then when you sit there and you push yourself as far as you can go, be satisfied in the fact that you're actually getting up and going after it, not just saying you are. There's a difference between moving and doing actions that put you closer to your goal and then just talking. If you're just talking, you're not doing shit to move you towards your goal, that shit is not the way to go, brother. Sheer action. Action is the only thing that's going to get us anywhere. Now, let's get this shit going. I'm feeling solid. So, let's push past our limits, y'all. Alright, I could probably push it one more, but we still got a full session to get through. So we're gonna taper that off a little bit. The only complaint I've had with creatine so far is the amount of water you have to drink is ungodly, especially if before you're only drinking 2 or 3 waters per day. You gotta drink around, right now I'm drinking 2.5 liters per day, so I'm pissing like a motherfucker. And yeah, but what y'all think, bro? I'm trying to change up my hairstyle, but honestly I don't know how to do hair, so I've been struggling with that for the longest time. I thought about getting a mullet, leaving it the way it is, because right now I ain't got a hairstyle, y'all. The shit just flows how it needs to. So, how to figure that out. And then I'm also thinking about removing my beard. The shit grows back quick, so if I don't like it, I'll just grow it back in. But, I don't know, y'all. I have no idea. We just got distracted again. Come on, y'all gotta be better than that. I gotta call me out. No. Come on. Alright, let's go back to funk. Oh, sure. Yeah. Oh. Oh, shut up. Whew. I ain't gonna hold you. You gotta be careful when you're going heavy weight on that. Because if you go heavy when you pull you, your ass will fly. Lucky I ain't never had that happen before, but goddamn, that would traumatize me. Alright, y'all. We'll go ahead and take a break. And I'll be right back. Alright, y'all. This clip is like 30 seconds apart from the last one. I just feel good. So let's keep it going, y'all. You know, one thing I've been struggling with a lot though is body dysmorphia. Just because I know I'm better than I used to be. But sometimes I look at myself and I'm not satisfied with where I'm at. And then I hear in my ear, the trend is calling you. But I honestly feel like that's something that a lot of natties, because I'm a lifetime natty, a lot of us get that same feeling though. But, oof. Alright, so I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna go use the restroom and I'll be back with y'all with some shoulder work. Let's keep it going. Yo, real shit, that's why I say I like recording, bro. I was about to skip my forearm curls when I saw that I hadn't done it on film. So I was like, oh shit. Holding myself accountable through y'all. I sort of. I ain't gonna capture you. I could have gone without that. But all in the pursuit of greatness, y'all. Like they say, in love, art, and war, everything is permitted. Alright, y'all, so now moving into the front delt raises. And now we're going to be doing that with our straight bar instead of with the curved bar like I normally do it. This way, just so I can exaggerate the intensity on the front two delts. Look at that pump. What's the iron frame? Yeah. Now the key with these is I like to lean forward a little bit. And then kind of check your grip to make sure you feel it mainly on that front part. Once again, keeping the focus on the eccentric movement. Oof. Oof. And also, the reason I'm supersetting arms and shoulders is because in my experience, my shoulders actually get gassed out a lot easier than my arms do, or my tricep, biceps, or anything like that. So I ended up working those out with this superset. It feels like a good use of time. You know what I mean? Especially when our main goal is to see as much progress in as little time as we possibly can. Especially look at that. I think I've developed my shoulders for the last like couple weeks. Just I gotta get more on it, just so I can keep my definition too. Yeah, because the more definition and the more work you put in, the more defined those splits and cuts will. And honestly speaking, y'all, we're all going for broad shoulders and everything, but we also want to have that be able to remove our striations. Because I can kind of do that with my chest. I can get a wave going from here, but not so much in the arm, and that's where it actually looks fucking phenomenal. But let me go take a little break. I'll be right back with y'all. Now we're getting into this second set, y'all. Let's go ahead and get this shit started. Now, one big thing that I want to go ahead and implement right now is having hope for tomorrow. Even if your situation in life is terrible right now, because I've been in those periods where I feel like there's no point to continue going. And now, when you get to those moments, you need to remind yourself that there's a possibility tomorrow could be different. And I got that actually from the episode of Peaky Blinders, where Tommy Shelby was going to use one of his old friend as a gunner, and he asked him, "Why don't you just kill yourself if you're in an insane asylum?" And the guy was like, "Because tomorrow might be different. There might be a different tomorrow, and you need to make sure you keep that level of hope, because, quite frankly, God puts us all through shit, and sometimes it doesn't even make sense in the moment. But He doesn't. Basically, He does everything for a purpose, and if you don't live long enough to see why you were going through that pain, it'll do yourself a disservice, if that makes any sense. But let's keep this going, yo. Next at a time. Ooh, so all right, so let's move up to. Actually, I was liking the way that one fell. Let's stay on 40s, yo, and then maybe at fourth set we'll go 50s. But all right, so let's get into this next set. Alright, so now moving to the third set, and now I'm honestly fucking with a little tightness I'm getting in my shoulders from this workout. You just want to make sure that when you're doing this workout, you're doing it the right way, because I might not be. I've spent 3 years now working shoulders out, and I'm just now getting into them. So I'm learning as I go, but this is the way I do it. It feels phenomenal, yeah? And before... Alright. Alright, y'all. Let me take a little break before I get into this big boy. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and get some oblique work done, y'all. Now, something I do for obliques is actually just grab a 45 and you let the weight pull on you. And you want to make sure when you come back down, your hand is on the seam of your pants and it touches the crevice of your ankle. I mean, not your ankle. I don't know. Where your leg bends, I guess. Oh. This is what I do to get rid of my left handles. I need to do these more. About 5 or 6 on each side is pretty decent. I gotta do. Da-da-da-da-da. Alright, so I'll be right back with y'all. Damn, y'all, there ain't nothing like working out and just listening to some Nickelback. But honestly, one thing that I like about the back, working on your shoulders, whenever you're working, like doing a double bi, it starts popping up from the top. Especially if you have some definition. That's the ultimate goal, y'all. But let's go ahead and into this next set. And also, I'm thinking about doing a vlog style tomorrow because I'm going to be going on campus. And I'm thinking about taking my tripod and everything with me so I can just record while I'm on camp. Might be interesting, yo. So, little life updates, day in the life or some shit like that. Let's go ahead and get this going, y'all. We're gonna go for another 10 on these shoulders. Okay, maybe a little exaggerated with that last one, but you get the point. Whoosh. Alright, let's go ahead and move into some tricep extensions with the cable attachment. Alright, so now moving into this first set, we're gonna go ahead and have this working. Alright, let's lower the camera a little bit though. What y'all think? Y'all think I should shave off my beard? I don't know. But anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and get to this one. Same focus on here. We're gonna go hard with the correct form, but then working more on the eccentric movement. So explosive, eccentric. All right, John. That right there was pretty solid. Let's keep it going. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this next set. That was actually amazing. Let's keep the same intensity, the same focus, the same everything. Let's go ahead and keep it going, yeah. You know what? I want some Italian food today. Real shit. Ooh. Yo, the crazy part about going intense with the form behind the weight, you could actually go half as heavy, but you'll feel more like 2 times tired because right now I'm not even doing half of a stack. I'm basically doing half of a stack, and it's being as intense as doing 3/4 of the stack just because of the focus behind it. Woo. But let's keep this going, y'all. The third set. All right, y'all. It's the third set. Let's keep this shit rolling, y'all. Now, you know, sometimes my mind can get pretty dark, and in moments like that is when I have to resort to my David Goggins mentality, because I feel like, honestly, just the process of going through life and experiencing things leaves you scarred and deeply traumatized to the point where you might feel ashamed to admit that you're traumatized, you know, especially when other people are living a worse life than you. Sometimes you get into the whole hesitation of like, why is this such an issue for me? And why am I making it or ascribing a label to it if other people are in worse situations, but they're still hanging in there? And honestly speaking, I feel like you should value your mental health a lot, because you being okay with where you're at mentally will take you a lot further than if you're hating every part about your life. It's hard to get up and get out there and get after it if you're sitting there and you hate yourself, you know? And sometimes we have self-fulfilling prophecies that we need to break. And honestly speaking, I'm working through that in my head right now. So, y'all get to watch as I'm struggling mentally, but I know I'm going to see it through. I just have to have faith in myself and in God. But yeah, let's keep this shit going, y'all. Alright, so let's go ahead and get straight into this one. Set 4. Alright, that's the end of tricep extensions. Let's go ahead and use a quick bathroom break, and I'll be right back with y'all. Yeah, so now I'm moving into the next set, and keep in mind, all of my workouts right now are curated to being around my hectic schedule. Right now, I'm going to be a full-time realtor. I have a full-time business where I'm managing 15 employees between 4 different locations. I'm going to college in spite of doing all of these things, and I'm making a video every single day, and I'm editing the videos after. So there's a lot that I have to balance. So I'm trying to curate my style of working out to be able to fit all of this in there, because at the end of the day, the work has to get done. I just have to fix the way I do it so I can get ahead, you know? But that's why I'm changing back to supersets, and also so I can get some of my strength back. Now, with this one, this is the only workout I do for my side delt. Oof. And then we'll switch over to the next arm. Ooh. And then we just keep the intensity high, bro. We do 3 to 4 sets of those, and we're going to keep going back to back to back to back. That way y'all can see the work needs to get done in a timely, in an efficient manner, essentially. Whoosh. I want some Italian food, brother, but the issue with Italian food in America, at least, the calories be crazy because of the way they make it. They add the creamer, they add this and that. I've heard that people in, like, Americans that go to Italy, they'll eat pizza, they'll eat sloppy food all day, and they don't get any fat because of the way they cook is different than here. But, I don't know. One day I'll make a vlog going to Italy, y'all. It's been one of my lifelong dreams. Oh. Oof. Solid. I'm only doing 3 sets, bro. I'm feeling good. But I'm on a time crunch. Gotta go home, edit a video, then I gotta finish my fast for so much. And I actually like something that Leo Skeppy said. He said he allows himself to complain, bitch, and moan only as long as he's doing the actions he has to do in order to move towards his goal. And I'm actually fucking with that. because if you're not doing shit to move towards your goals, you ain't got no right to bitch. But if you're doing everything that needs to get done and you're exhausted because of that, that is valid, 100%. All right, that's it, y'all. Back to back to back. No cuts in between, just going straight after it. Third day. Whew. All right, now switching over to biceps. Let me go get the attachment, y'all. I'll be back. All right, so now we're moving into the next set. We're gonna be doing some curls with a curved attachment. Let's keep this going, y'all. And then still, we're gonna keep focus on eccentric movements. All right, the forward behind the work is going solid. So we're just gonna keep this going for 3 to 4 sets. Switch down to some triceps, and then do some rear shoulders and some shoulder presses. And call it a day from there. All right, let's keep it going, yo. The only issue, honestly though, I'm gonna have to make sure I'm carved up on my workouts now because these workouts are a little bit more intense than they used to be. So I need to go ahead and supplement that with carbs. Ooh, bread it is, y'all. All I need to know. Da, da, da. Ooh. Yeah, 3 sets it is. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next shot. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get this last set going. The energy's died off, but we're gonna keep it going. All right, y'all. Let's move to the next set. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into some tricep push-ups. All right, third set. All right, I'm gonna take a little break before I get into my fourth set because I'm pretty fried, and I'll see you on the next set, yeah. Holy shit, bro! I didn't notice how fucking gassed I was. I'm over here waiting to sit around for the fourth set, and motherfucking Tracer just poof, 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 poof. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, so last set of 10. Y'all can see the energy's died off. We got two more workouts, rear delts, and then shoulder press. Let's keep it going, y'all. All right, let's move it to the next set, y'all. Let's go work on some rear delts. All right, Sean, now moving into some rear delt work. As you can see, my energy level is that up, so I'm not talking as much right now, but keep in mind, I'm still pushing. I'm still giving y'all the best that I got, even if I'm tired. Regardless of how I feel, I'm going to make sure I show up and I show out for every single one of you. I might not be the most inspirational at every single day, but I'll try to do my best to help as many people as I can. And if you see a way that I can help somebody out in a better way, in a better dialogue, with a better format, just let me know. I'm always open to ideas. All right, y'all. I'm going to take a little break. Psych! I'm getting right into the next one. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, y'all. I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back with you. All right, Sean. Now moving into some rear delt work. As you can see, my energy level is that up, so I'm not talking as much right now, but keep in mind, I'm still pushing. I'm still giving y'all the best that I got, even if I'm tired. Regardless of how I feel, I'm going to make sure I show up and I show out for every single one of you. I might not be the most inspirational at every single day, but I'll try to do my best to help as many people as I can. And if you see a way that I can help somebody out in a better way, in a better dialogue, with a better format, just let me know. I'm always open to ideas. All right, y'all. I'm gonna take a little break. Psych! I'm getting right into the next one. Go ahead and do this. All right, y'all. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll be right back with you. All right, y'all. Second out of the 4 sets. Let's keep it going, y'all. Woo! All right, y'all. Let's go into the 4th set. All right, y'all. 4th set. This shit's starting to be harder. But let's keep it going, y'all. I'm starting to get hungry. Oh, yeah. Oof. Oof. All right, y'all. That's the end of that. Let's go ahead and get some shoulder press, and that's the end of today's workout. Peace. All right, y'all. So now moving into the final workout of the shoulder and arm day. And honestly speaking, this is the one where I can really press weight. This is going to be what's going to make my shoulders blocky. Everything else is going to give me striation. It's going to make me very defined, very cut. But this is going to add sheer mass to me, and that's what I need right now. And with these, I do them flipped on the outside because of the way that this thing is at a slant like that. So that's why I'm doing them this way. Let me see about that. Ooh, I like that. All right, so we're doing 4 sets of 10. Let's keep this going, y'all. Jumping straight into the next set because I'm running out of time. Let's keep this going, y'all. 2 more sets. I'm dying, y'all. Let's keep it going. All right, y'all. 4th set. Let's keep this going, y'all. Oh, gosh, y'all. Let's go for the pose now. Whoosh. Alright, John, that's the end of today's video, and honestly speaking, I feel really pumped. The shoulder and arm supersets were crazy today. Right now, since we finished out on the shoulder, 2 shoulder workouts where the first one we worked on our rear delts, and then we did shoulder press for our complete shoulders, I'm feeling fried, yo. I recommend this workout, especially if you only got about an hour and a half to do a workout, but you have to make sure you're intentional with your time because I wasted a little bit of time, like 15 minutes in between sets because I wasn't going as hard as I could have been. So if you're wanting to push forward, make sure not to make that mistake. But yeah, let's get into the pump check, yeah? Honestly, yeah, I'm feeling fried. I need to go ahead and eat a fat ass meal because right now I'm decarbed and had a protein, what is it called? A Chipotle bowl earlier, but honestly speaking, it didn't fill me up the way it should have. But yeah, this is a pump check. Let's get this shit going, y'all. Alright, y'all. That's all I got. That's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. And make sure to turn on that notification bell. That way you can catch every single video I have coming out. But, alright, y'all. Take it easy. Peace.